You know, right now, one of nature's most incredible events is unfolding, literally just outside your window. It's bird nesting season, and we're going to dive into the hidden signals that kick off this amazing annual show.
I mean, we've all been here, right? You're having your coffee, and you see it, that first real sign of spring. A robin tugging a worm from the lawn. And then, a little while later, bam! There's a perfectly formed nest tucked away somewhere. That's pretty much the unofficial start to the whole season we're exploring.
So what is it that tells that robin, hey, it's time to build a nest? It feels almost magical, doesn't it? But it's not magic at all. It's actually a super precise biological response to some very specific signals from the environment. So what exactly is this alarm clock?
Okay, so let's get into it. It turns out there are a few key triggers that kick this whole incredible process into gear. And it's basically a combination of light, temperature, and you guessed it, a perfectly timed meal plan.
First up, you've got the two big ones. As the days get longer, all that extra light triggers hormones in the birds that basically scream, it's go time. But here's the real secret. It's not just about sunny days. The more surprising trigger, the one that really gets things moving, is the nighttime temperature. Yeah, how warm it stays after the sun goes down is an absolutely crucial cue.
And of course, science totally backs this up. A major study actually confirmed that this nighttime warmth is one of the most reliable predictors for when birds will start laying their eggs. So you can think of a string of warm nights as nature's big flashing green light for nest building.
And then, of course, there's the food. I mean, this is the big one. Birds are absolute master planners. They instinctively time their entire nesting cycle so that the moment their chicks hatch, it lines up perfectly with the peak abundance of insects, caterpillars, and berries. You know, the buffet has to be open when the hungry kids arrive.
All right, so now we know why it all starts. Let's talk about when. Because, and this is interesting, not every bird is on the same schedule. The whole season actually unfolds in these distinct waves, creating this amazing rush of activity from March all the way into June.
So think of it in waves. First, you get the early birds in March and April. We're talking robins, chickadees. Some of them start building when there's still snow on the ground. It's incredible. Then from April to May, you get the main event. That's when the bluebirds, warblers, and thrushes really get going. And finally, you have the late arrivals in May and June, like hummingbirds and flycatchers, fashionably late to the party.
Now, this whole timeline is really driven by two different survival strategies. You have your resident birds, the ones who tough it out all winter, like cardinals and chickadees. They get a huge head start. They're out there claiming the best real estate, the prime nesting spots, before anyone else even shows up. But then you have the migratory birds, like warblers. They arrive later, sure, but their timing is perfectly tuned to hit that massive food jackpot we were just talking about.
Okay, so once the timing is right, it's officially time to build. And let me tell you, birds are some of the pickiest real estate shoppers and most amazing master builders out there. Each species has its own preferred style, location, and a very specific list of materials.
I mean, for birds, it is all about location, location, location. You've got your cavity nesters like bluebirds and woodpeckers. They're looking for a move-in ready home, like a hollow tree or a nest box. Then you have the shrub nesters, think cardinals and catbirds, who want that deep, hidden cover you find in thick vegetation. And then, believe it or not, you have ground nesters like the killdeer. They do the complete opposite. They want wide open spots so they can see any predators coming from a mile away.
And the building materials they use? Oh man, it's just as diverse and fascinating. You've got robins, who are basically masons, using mud and grass to form this super sturdy cup. Chickadees are like little interior designers, lining their nests with the absolute softest moss and animal fur they can find. And get this, hummingbirds are engineers. They use stretchy spider silk and lichen to build these incredible flexible nests that expand as the babies grow. And then you have woodpeckers, who just bring their own power tools and chisel out a brand new home.
So, the home is built. Now we move into the most critical, most intense phase of the entire season, raising the family. And from the moment that first egg is laid, the clock is officially ticking.
And believe me, it all happens incredibly fast. For most of the songbirds in your backyard, parents only have to incubate the eggs for about 10 to 14 days. Then, once they've hatched, the countdown continues. It takes just about 3 weeks for those tiny, helpless chicks to grow all their feathers and get strong enough for their very first flight. That moment is called fledging, and it's when they finally leave the nest for good.
And the sheer effort this takes, it's just staggering. To get those chicks ready to fledge in only 3 weeks, the parents become a non-stop food delivery service. We're talking more than 400 feeding trips to the nest in a single day. Just think about that.
It is an absolutely relentless 24/7 job. They are constantly bringing in food, they're cleaning the nest by removing waste, and they are fiercely defending their young from any and all potential threats. Their dedication is it's truly astounding.
You know, seeing all this hard work really makes you want to help, doesn't it? Well, the good news is you absolutely can. There are some really simple but super effective ways to make your own yard a safer and more productive place for all these nesting birds.
So here are the most important rules, the big do's and don'ts. Number 1, first and foremost, give them space. Observe from a distance, but never ever touch or move a nest. Just your presence can stress the parents out. Second, and this one is absolutely crucial, please keep your pets, especially cats, indoors. Cats are a major threat to young birds just leaving the nest. And third, you can provide safe resources. Things like a clean source of fresh water and planting native plants are fantastic for providing natural food and shelter.
Hey, you can even offer some construction help by leaving out some materials for them. But you've got to be careful here. Things like short pieces of yarn, we're talking less than 4 inches, or pet fur you've brushed out, or just some dried grass, that stuff is great. What you have to avoid is anything long, like string, or synthetic stuff like dryer lint, because those can cause really dangerous tangles for the birds.
And look, this isn't just a nice little thing to do. It really works. The experts at the Cornell Lab of Ornithology have confirmed that providing safe, natural nesting materials can actually boost local breeding success. You can make a real difference.
So when you put it all together, the perfect timing, the incredible construction, the absolutely tireless parenting, you start to realize what an incredible drama is playing out, just a few feet from your door. Your backyard is truly a front row seat to one of the best shows nature has to offer.
So, now you know exactly what to look for. Nature's alarm clocks have gone off, the nesting rush has begun, and the whole show is officially underway. The only question left is, what will be the first nest you find this spring?